चलो 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 जी लगाता हूँ मैं तरबूज को रोजे वाला खाता है रोजे वाला
Man, we don't
No dog.
ain't got no little dog running around here no more.
My dog is gone.
I'm a dog, though. You ain't got no pets, but I'm a dog. There's some Drake on the way over here.
Yeah?
She ain't got pets, but I'm a dog. Yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, first of all, welcome back to the motherfucking show, boys and
Welcome.
gals. Dude, yeah, I had a fucking weird drive over here. You ever have those drives where like you get like, I don't even know, you don't drive for like 2 or 3 days, and then you get behind the wheel at like a weird time of day that you don't often drive? This is how it happens to me. Sometimes it just happens regularly.
You haven't driven in 2 or 3 days?
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been in the crib for like 2 or 3 days.
That's cool. Oh, I guess it was the weekend.
Yeah, I wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
I think I drove Saturday night. So yeah, I guess I drove a little bit, but I drove at nighttime. I guess driving at nighttime. I don't drive in the evening a lot, so I was driving here like, I don't know, 6:30 or whatever, and I had this feeling where it's like I forgot how to drive a car. Like it's like, you ever have that shit where you just like forget how to fucking drive the car, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck? Like I feel like I'm tripping almost.
No, I drive too much here.
Dude, it's the weirdest feeling. It happens to me all the time. Like
Where you forget how to drive?
I'll like feel like I've completely forgotten how to drive. I'm like, dude, I gotta be extra careful because I fucking might crash this time. Like I feel very uncomfortable driving, and I wasn't even like fucked up. I mean, I was a little stoned, but
Yeah.
I wasn't drinking or anything, obviously. And yeah, I was just like, dude, what the fuck? It's like holding the wheel, just like squinting, and like the sun is reflecting off the highway, and there's like so many cars around me, and the sky is completely blue, and I'm just like, fucking, this is like a flashback in Cold Case Files. You know that show, Cold Case Files, where everything is like has a tint to it. Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like when I was driving here, it was like a flashback to Cold Case Files, in Cold Case Files. I mean, and then fucking Kevin's song, bro. The man Kevin, a guy called Kev.
Yeah.
One of his songs came on, one of his unreleased songs, and I was like, God damn, dude, he's so good at making music. I tried to call him. I tried to let him know. I tried to say, dude, you are fucking so good. Because I don't often call, none of my music guys, friends often be like, yo, you're just fucking great at what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Call just to praise?
Yeah, or just like say praise at all, really.
Yeah.
It's always, my community of music friends, other than with the exception of Kevin.
Sure.
Because he's pretty positive, but it's more of like a listen, you got a long way to go type vibe than like a you're doing great type vibe. So I
should be more of that.
So I had a spree. Yeah, I broke out of this tundra of thought piled upon my cold brain, and in this Cold Case Files flashback I was having. I mean, and I fucking buried myself out of it into like this bright, lovely feeling because with the help of this song that was Kevbot song, dude, it's so good. Called him. I was like, dude, I wanted to be like, yo, you're so fucking amazing. He just didn't answer the call.
Mm-hmm.
Still felt good though. Had a good playlist on the way over here. That was
Sounds like
nice.
you should have been more focused on driving.
I should have been, but as soon as that song came on and played, dude, I started texting. I instilled confidence in me. That's how you know you got a good song.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I used to say like Yeezus. When I listened to that in high school, I would say it's like audio Xanax, because like when I was listening to Yeezus in high school as a kid, it'd make me just want to it'd make me not care about anything. Usually when I was in Carmel High School, I've talked about it on here before. We've talked about it, but I would like squint. My eyes would get dry. They'd water. I'd have to be like, fucking Jesus Christ. I'd look distressed.
Yeah.
In the hallway. But as soon as I was listening to Yeezus, I would just be like, dude, fuck everything. That bitch is nothing to me. That dude sucks. Fuck that guy. I'd mob on his face.
What on?
A mob on him.
All right.
Mob on his face. And yeah, it's shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have anything like that?
Xanax.
No, like music, man.
Oh.
Not drugs, man.
Xanax
is the devil's drug, man.
Yeah, I haven't taken it in a while, but it was pretty fun.
No good, dude.
Yeah.
It's no good.
It's not great.
It's no good.
Music wise,
Have a couple good nights off the Zans though. You don't remember, dude. It was fucking. Got a couple pictures of me just purple-eyed off the Zans, just like passed out on the floor like a rag doll. Not good. Drugs are bad.
music wise, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of music that just makes me feel like a god.
Just confident, yeah.
Yeah.
The golden god.
Yeah, the golden god, untouchable.
Yeah, Jesus was like that for me, dude. I listened to oh. Hey, goddamn, you're very soft or whatever the fuck he says, dude. That'd be
Berry
great.
soft, right?
Yeah, goddamn. As I turn my BlackBerry off, some shit like that. Goddamn. He might not say goddamn, you're very soft. Maybe he does.
I don't know. He says a lot of things.
As I turn my BlackBerry off, and I turn your and you turn your bath water on, and you turn off your iPhone. Careless whispers, I fucking biting ass.
Are we supposed to have a BlackBerry or an iPhone?
Neck, ears, head, legs, eating ass. This pussy's yo pussy's too good. Yo pussy's too good. I need to crash. Some titties, let them out. Free at last. Goddamn almighty, we free at last. I forget the rest. The party, but he was leaving fast. Had to stop at 7-Eleven like I needed gas.
Is that new?
I'm lying, I needed condoms, don't look through the glass.
What song is that?
It's I'm in it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
One of the best.
Honestly, in high school, you know what album I got obsessed with? But it was probably because of a
Probably like a douche puffing out. I hate when people do that.
a night at your place that was filled with a lot of no good.
What's that?
808s and heartbreaks.
Was that the night? Was it in high school?
Yeah.
Was it the time we smoked the big joint the next day?
Yeah.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Dude, we were
But
listening
the
to
night
808s
before was no good.
Dude, you know what's crazy about 808s, man? I don't think I've ever told the story on here, is that when I was younger, I was heavily influenced by my brother, who was like the successful one the most successful out of all three at the time. And I was like,
At the time or just overall?
I mean, overall at the time, who's counting? But excuse me. But he had a lot to do. That was kind of before I had my own train of thought and kind of started like separating into my own Venn diagram of thought. But a lot of things still overlap. Even at this day, a lot of things still overlap. Regardless, I think I'm digressing. The shots, dude.
I sure hope so.
Losing my fucking mind, dude. Took
Yeah.
a little shotskis before, got me feeling stupid.
Still in that cold case mode?
Yeah, I'm straight up, dude, having a vision right now.
Just bluing out?
I'm bluing out so hard. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So he was hating on Ye in that era of my life. So I was like, yeah, I guess Ye is kind of corny right now. So I didn't really like give 808s the time of day, but like
if he only knew.
Yeah, what?
About today, yay.
Oh, I mean, what about it?
That yay is 1,000 times better than today, yay.
Oh yeah.
In almost every sense of the word.
You talking about my brother?
No, I'm saying if he thought that was corny, yay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like people, the hip hop heads. My brother was a hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? He listened to like Mos Def and like Common and hip hop guys, and like Talib Kweli and shit. So it was like,
yeah, I'm just saying. In retrospect, you can look at that and be like, one, if that's what you think was the corny
not
era.
Corny today, bro. He's just fucking retarded.
I know,
He's
but if
just a
he thinks
retarded guy.
Ye's corny at all, today is much more corny.
I don't think he's as corny today. I think 808s was his. It was still dope, so it doesn't matter. But it was still his corny era.
I mean, maybe from a personal standpoint.
He was wearing like the tiny suits, like the nerd
shutter
suits,
shades.
the shutter shades, and he was like, I love you so much. It was when Ye broke off into like using autotune to like sing little heartbreak songs, which is
sick.
my favorite. It's my favorite. Now it's my favorite.
That's what I'm saying. In retrospect, you can look at it.
To the hip hop heads who listened to College Dropout and Late Registration were conscious while those were coming out. As soon as he switched to 808s, or after graduation, as soon as he switched to 808s, it was like, the fuck is this?
Right.
But then one night, and always Robbie was always like, dude, it's insane that you don't. I think maybe Robbie moved and like I never even talked to him about it. But one night, Pablo, we were tripping and Pablo was like, yo, you gotta hear 808s. So we were tripping on acid and we listened to all 808s all the way through. And I was like, holy shit. Not only were there several songs on 808s that I thought were just like Kanye Lucy's that I loved as songs,
Right.
but they were like, it was a whole project of like some shit. Like I'd never heard RoboCop until that
Yeah.
time. And so I was like,
Same until that night.
and then yeah, and so,
So many
that
songs.
night that we did that I showed you was probably like within months of that when I first
I would
heard
say
it
weeks,
myself.
because I think you
Yeah.
were like talking about it, and you're like, "Oh, you gotta
I
come."
mean,
out.
yeah,
Like,
I was an idiot. You find out sometimes in life you have a stern opinion, and then later on you find out I was being closed-minded and stupid. But I was a
But-
kid also. When
I
as
mean,
soon
you-
as I got my own state of mind,
you wouldn't really relate to this, but "American Beauty" by the Grateful Dead, listening to that from start to finish, is like probably the greatest album listening experience I've ever had.
I've never.
Only closely second to 808s and Heartbreaks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's 808's the best ever.
No, it's second. American Beauty is like
Oh,
it's something
okay.
else.
Yeah, dude, it's just like I don't know. I've always struggled to get into Grateful Dead. I've always like listened to them, but I just hear like doop, doop, boom, 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 and it's just like
Yeah, a lot of people don't like jam band music.
Yeah, it's like I get that it takes an incredible amount of skill, but like I don't hear that and feel. I hear that
Sure.
and I'm like, this is good. Like I'd hear this in a like a doctor's office waiting room, and I'd be like, this is cool music. man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more that feeling. Like, but I mean, people feel the same way. I'm sure about a lot of songs I listen to. Like, people,
Yeah.
a lot of people probably listen to Elliott Smith and they're like, who the fuck is this pussy? I don't want to hear this shit. What is this corny shit? Because he's like
I don't know. It's
soft. Elliott Smith. You don't know the song "Needle in the Hay"? You seen the Royal Tenenbaums?
Yeah. It's been a minute.
You probably know Elliott Smith.
I honestly, this might be an earth-shattering realization. I don't really like Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable. I don't like all his movies either. Me and Robbie clown him all the time, but he has some good ones. He's got some hits.
It's like
I like Royal Tenenbaums.
they're pretty good on first watch, but like they're not. I don't know.
They don't have replay value. It's like an
Not
album.
really.
Yeah, it's I've shit been like this. It's the same thing with like albums. Sometimes albums are really great and they're borderline cinematic. That's the purpose of them. They're supposed to be an experience, but they just don't have a lot of replay value because it's like
Yeah.
too much. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, like I liked Grand Budapest. I liked Royal Tenenbaums a lot. That's like probably my favorite of his. But
Rushmore, I think, is my favorite.
I don't think I've ever seen Rushmore.
It's good. It's a good
He
one.
did. Wes Anderson did Bottle Rocket too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Grand Budapest though.
Grand Budapest is cool.
I've seen Darjeeling Limited. I've seen The Life Aquatic.
I don't care for The Life Aquatic. It's all right.
There's some good
boring.
one-liners
It's a really
in it.
boring watch. So yeah, there are.
There's some.
It's a
I mean, yeah. Wes Anderson is like,
Bill Murray too. Like
Yeah.
If anything, even if the script's not
and
good,
Willem
Bill Murray's-
Dafoe.
Yeah.
It's a great. Always has
You
a great
know,
cast.
this song. I'm gonna have to cut this out because we'll get copyright. But fuck me. Where is this? Well, this is the song from Royal Tenenbaums. Let's wait for the hook. Never heard this?
I mean, I must have heard it in Royal Tenenbaums, but I can't.
It's when
Take it
Owen
out.
Wilson is cutting his wrists. This song plays. It's like the best moment in any Wes Anderson.
Spoiler,
movie.
by the way.
Yeah, forget about it. Yeah.
Movie's been out for 20 years.
Yeah, seriously. This one was the theme song to or it wasn't the theme song. It was
I said that ironically, by the way.
what? Spoiler
Like,
alert?
I hate
Yeah,
when
yeah,
people
yeah.
are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
like way to spoil it." I'm like, it's fucking Titanic.
Yeah,
One,
it's-
the movie's been out for
we're
80
talking- we're
years,
talking about
and you also
Chinatown.
know what happened.
It's like the dad's the rapist. It's like, dude, Chinatown came out 70 years ago.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's one of the best. What's
Jack and
another one?
Nick.
I'm trying to find. Oh, here. You ever heard this?
This is Elliott Smith as well.
Yes.
This kind of sounds familiar.
It's in Good Will Hunting. He did like the soundtrack to Good Will Hunting, like 4 or 5 of his songs. He won a an Oscar for it.
This might be a dumb question, but Elliott Smith is not part of the Smiths.
No.
Yeah.
It's,
Kind of has a similar vibe.
no,
though.
yeah, it's he's from Seattle, kind of the same era as Nirvana. But yeah, he was just a nasty songwriter who was also a really, really good guitar player. He was just a really quiet, shy guy. Actually, I'd fucking like
They
to talk.
usually are.
He's one of my biggest influences as far as music goes, and he I'm gonna get a tattoo soon. It's like similar to one he has. He has like Texas, like the silhouette of Texas, and then it's
Yeah.
like has a circle of like little marks, like tallies, like drawn etched tallies, and
Of what?
like just a circle, just like around Texas. It's like a circle around Texas, like a dotted line around Texas,
Oh,
and then like just Texas in the middle, with like a silhouette, like a black silhouette of Texas.
you
on
do
it.
that with Texas?
No, do it with Indiana. Of
Okay,
course.
good.
Of course. But no, he died. His death is real controversial
Mm.
because he died from like 7 or maybe that's more than, but he died from like a lot of stab wounds to the chest, and they ruled it a suicide. And like a lot of people,
That's not possible.
it's happened in history. It's happened.
I mean, I guess it is possible, but it's
Yeah.
not plausible.
Yeah, and also like they did typography, like DN, like not typography DN, but typography tests through experts that like have claimed that the handwriting was clearly not his handwriting.
Oh, there's a suicide note?
Yeah. They think it was his girlfriend at the time, but I've seen the documentary and his girlfriend seems chill. I mean, like if she's putting on a front, she seems like a really like normal girl.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to believe. Like you said, it doesn't seem plausible, but I've also seen her and her reaction to it. And
Have you heard about Sam Cooke's death?
nah,
You know Sam Cooke, right?
yeah, of course.
Like one of the greatest soul
Yeah.
singers of all time.
Yes.
He died, I think, when he was like 35. And he, the story goes, and there's a lot of controversy around the story about like what's true, because it's like different accounts. And like obviously the police don't have a direct account because like they weren't there immediately. But it was, he was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles, like a cheap motel sort of thing. And he had like a girlfriend, maybe a woman of the night.
Yeah.
And she ran out screaming. And like the hotel attendant, like what do you call that? The person at the front desk of the hotel.
Hotel
Called
attendant
like
works.
the police. And I guess they found him like chasing her and shot him in the middle of the street.
Death by suicide, but not or death by
No,
suicide by
like
cop.
no, like they just shot him. He wasn't
Damn,
trying
they
to
murked him.
Yeah, he was like chasing after this woman. And so there's a lot
Where
of
was
like
it?
in like Beverly Hills area.
Oh, okay, so it was in California.
Yeah,
So
was
it wasn't
here.
like in the South.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say in the South.
but California.
Obviously, it's racially motivated.
I
That
think
would've been a huge
California
thing in
is
history.
like the most like CHP. I believe has
most deadly.
is the most deadly law
you
enforcement.
told me that.
Yeah, they have like the most deaths per like. What would you call like pullover? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Per like
It's-
incident, they have like the most deaths per encounter.
Department or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Cal-
ratio. Their ratio is way off.
Yeah. Not a
Um,
great ratio.
To correct myself, he died when he was 34 years old. Elliott Smith. He died when he was 34 years old in 2003. He died in his Los Angeles homes from 2 stab wounds in the chest.
Okay.
The autopsy evidence did not determine whether the wounds were self-inflicted. At the time of his death, Smith was working on whatever. I should also include for your determination and the viewers, not determination. Fucking, what's the word I'm looking for?
What do you mean?
I guess
For
I am
your
determination.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm fucking losing it these days. But yeah, he was like I think he had just gotten into dope towards the end of his life. Like
Yeah.
in like 2000, like early 2000s, he had just gotten into dope. And he would look like shit. There was a bar, what's it called? I forget. It's a popular
You would shit?
I'm thinking he would shit. But it was a popular bar in LA that's like a performance spot. Oh, Largo. He would
Oh, the
perform at
Largo, yeah.
Largo used to be owned by The dude
Candy.
No, not John Candy.
Um,
The dude who
Lovitz.
That would be cool too.
I miss
Not
John
owned.
Lovitz.
Largo. John.
Is it John Lovitz? Jeff Lovitz? No, it's John Lovitz.
I can't believe my brain is just kaput. I mean, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's John
Who
Lovitz.
is this guy? Kanye album's composer.
Don't
Can't
you
believe-
miss this guy?
He's still around, dude.
No,
hear
I
people
know
tell
he's not
stories about him
dead.
all the time. He's like working on an hour right now, I think. That's what I've heard from podcasts.
I didn't know you did stand up.
Yeah, of course. He's a stand-up guy. He's a stand-up guy. Don't you know?
I know he's a
stand-up
stand up guy. I didn't know he's
Oh.
a stand up guy.
guy. Um,
The Largo?
no, I got it. I'm gonna figure it out. My brain is kaput right now. The registration composer. When I hear it, I'm gonna be shitty because
Jean Pierre Baccarat.
No. John Bryan, dude. Motherfuck.
I don't know.
Yeah, John Bryan. John Bryan's a composer. He's worked on a lot of shit, but he used to do shows at Largo like all the time. I don't know if he used to own it or just be heavily affiliated with it, but
This guy.
yeah, that guy, dude, he's a legend. He composed. He was the composer on all the orchestration on College Dropout and Late Registration. This guy. Yeah.
This guy.
This guy, man, he's nasty. There's videos of him working with Ye hand in hand. And he worked on Elliott Smith's last album.
This guy.
This particular guy, yes, he is a legend of music culture of our generation.
Good for him.
Surprisingly enough. Yeah, but he
Apparently did film scores as well. Oh, he produced for Of Montreal.
I'm telling you, man. Of
Do you like
Montreal. That's the big guys.
You like Of Montreal?
I don't even know who they are.
I love Of Montreal.
I don't know who they are, but he's a big guy, John Bryan, and he used to let Elliott Smith perform at Largo. Largo used to be like a music place
Whoa.
instead of a comedy place. You hear me?
Do you know all
Are
the?
you listening to me? Are
Yeah.
you hearing me? Do you hear me?
Do
Are
you
listening
know
to
all
me?
the film scores that he
Are you
did?
listening to me? Do you hear me? No, I don't know.
Heart 8, Magnolia,
Okay.
Punch Drunk Love,
Okay.
Eternal Sunshine,
Okay.
I Heart the Huckabees,
Okay. I don't know that one.
Cynic Dope, New York.
I don't know that one. either.
Great Philip Seymour Hoffman movie. Paranorman.
I don't know that. I heard of it, but I don't know.
It's like an animated film. Lady Bird.
I don't know that.
What are you talking? You know Lady Bird.
I
Look,
don't know it.
Greta Gerwig, Saoirse Ronan, nominated for
I've
like
never
8
seen it.
Academy
I've never
Awards.
seen it. I've never seen it.
No, I've never seen it either, but I know
I
it.
don't know it.
And Christopher Robin
Christopher Robin.
with Ewan McGregor,
Listen, he's the man,
right?
John Bryan, and he used to let Elliott Smith perform at Largo, and he would get real fucked
Yeah,
up,
Ewan
and
McGregor.
that's when people. So Elliott Smith used to be like really like all he was a really quaint singer, a really quiet voice, basically.
Yeah.
And he would just sit there and play his guitar majestically and sing over very complicated plucking rhythms. And people were like, "Oh my God, he's such a good performer." He was always on. Like anytime if he needed to play a song, he would just crush it, even if he was super nervous.
Sure.
And when he would perform at Largo, when John Bryan was around there, and it was still like a music venue, he started getting fucked up. He would start like fucking forgetting the lyrics to his songs and like restarting them on stage, and like apparently it was a really bad scene. Like people, he was just forgetting. I forgot my lyrics on stage and been like fuck it, and no one notices. He was he was so perfect when he was performing that like if he forgot a lyric, people were like, oh, he's fucked up right now. So yeah, that's when he started getting really rough, and then yeah, he ended up killing himself. They say. I probably believe it at this point. For a long time, I
2
didn't
stab
believe it.
wounds is more believable.
Yeah,
But-
than 6.
It's still like you don't hear of somebody stabbing themselves to death.
Yeah, I was listening to some podcasts and they were talking about some dude in history.
Slitting, yeah,
Slitting is all day.
that's easy.
I fucking slit right now, dude.
Yeah,
No problem.
shooting,
Yeah, that's all day.
yeah,
That's money. Money, baby.
stabbing.
Money, baby. Money, baby. Money, baby. That's a
It's
girl
hard to
song.
stab other people, let alone yourself.
Oh, dude. Shabba, shabba. Dude.
Yeah.
Ya boy.
The way you do that, unless you're Japanese, I
You're
guess.
shabba, shabba. It's fucking. Get yourself, dude.
Jesus Christ, you
Woo!
just break a rib.
Nah, I wish. Maybe I'd feel something for once.
You know what that's called?
Harakiri or seppuku?
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's a little racist, dude.
What?
Because it's really harakiri.
No, it's
You're awesome. Harakiri.
it's
Fucked
not
up,
that.
dude. It's not Harry Carey.
That is what it's called.
It's harakiri.
There's no L.
It's
I can almost guarantee you there's no L.
I swear it's in how they used to say it in the old Mortal Kombat games, unless they were saying harakiri, and it just had like a crazy. It's seppuku too. Is the other name
Yeah.
for it. Harry Carey. Maybe they just say harakiri. It just sounds like that. Maybe
Often
I'm
called
the one being racist.
harakiri or seppuku.
Yeah, right.
It's harikiri.
It's Harry Carey. All right, but it's actually.
I just remember every time somebody would mention it in like school, I would be like, "You talking about the Cubs announcer?"
Harry Carey.
Yeah, you know the Will Ferrell would always do him on SNL. Hey, what's the deal with it? Like
I remember that voice, but I don't remember it. I wouldn't remember the guy's name. Was
Harry Carey was a Cubs announcer, and for some reason, Will Ferrell was like obsessed with him.
Dude, I'm so sorry to everyone. I
This
got
guy.
lit off those 2 shots. I'm full on idiota. Yeah, I remember. I remember the the Will Ferrell look.
So that's how he really
Dude.
sounded, like a normal person.
This is what I always remembered when I thought of it first. Yeah, dude, I think it's harakiri, not Kiri. I think Kiri is maybe not. Maybe that's just Mortal Kombat.
If you're white, you just pronounce it Harry Carey.
Yeah, exactly. But hold up, remember this? And you would kill yourself in Mortal Kombat? Oh, it's not gonna
No.
do it? It's not gonna do it? Yeah, Baraka cuts his own head off.
Dude, I never played Harry Carey, or
Damn.
I never played Mortal
Why
Kombat.
isn't it doing it, dude? I'm trying to see the gosh dang thing. I want to hear the sound effect. There we go. It's like a fucking emulator. See?
Yeah,
That's why-
Harakiri.
See, it sounds like he says an L right there.
No.
Harakiri.
No. Yeah.
I swear it sounded like that, dude.
Cute.
All right, let's see what Jack has to say.
You want Mike and Ike's?
Should I go grab my computer?
No, I'll just watch off the phone.
All right.
It's easier to cover over anyways. Yeah, dude, I fucking... Wow, have you had it start a timer? What are
Yeah.
we at? 27? Okay. Yeah, I'll pull it up for the one
Alright.
time. I never pull it up, but I'll pull it up this time. All right. Let's see.
What's up, boyos? It's your boy checking in. Not a whole lot going on here. Pretty hot weather. Going to Vegas in a couple days, so it's gonna be even hotter. Hope y'all get to make it out there. Really excited to see some of the hippies. Try to get some good content for you guys when I'm out there, and get to see hopefully a bunch of people tripping on some acid, because that's what it looked like all of the pit tickets are. So hope to see you guys there.
You say he was going to the Grateful Dead concert? He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just missed that.
That's what the pit tickets are.
Yeah, I know, but he did he say that before that the pit tickets were for the Grateful Dead
No.
concert? Yeah, I didn't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Yeah, that's cool. He's a real sly fellow.
Sly?
He thinks he's being sly.
What?
We won't say,
Yeah.
but he thinks he's being sly.
Or he's just...
Sometimes when you think you're sly, other people unsly you.
Unless you're Sly Stallone.
Unless you're so sly that you're a Stallonian. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully we can make
Have
it out
you
to Vegas. That
have
would
you
be
seen
fun.
what the Grateful Dead...
Thanks, Jack, by the way, for calling,
Yeah.
chatting in.
Have you seen what the Grateful Dead shows look like?
Yeah, yes, I have. I know someone who went there.
It's pretty crazy.
It's
The
fucking
sphere
insane. The sphere
is
insane,
nuts.
dude. The sphere is
Should I give him a little foot shot?
insane. Gross, dude. It's fucking gross. The sphere is insane.
Yeah, the sphere looks fucking insane. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be
if
interesting.
he goes.
So, if you would allow me to, and if I can, I'd like to give everybody an update on my findings on Janessa Brazil.
Oh yeah.
I do have an update. I'm trying to get my goddamn mic right, dude. Jesus Christ. It's actually quite interesting findings. What I've found out through the same article 6 different times, reading it from different news
Can I just
outlets.
as an update, like let's recap. Cam model, right?
Originally,
From the
yes.
early 2000s.
Yes.
So
early 2000s.
probably like late teens, early.
Probably actually more like 2005, 2010.
Okay. So probably like early to mid 20s in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Or mid 2000s.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. I think I looked it up, like she's late 40s now or something. So she's had multiple. She wasn't as elusive as I thought she was. She's had multiple appearances on Howard Stern. She wrote a Sybian on Howard Stern till she
what?
a Sybian, a little machine that you sit on and it vibrates.
Oh.
She orgasmed on Howard Stern
On the radio.
On the radio, yeah. That's Howard Stern. Baby.
Yeah, that's Stern for you.
It's Stern for you. She did it on Howard Stern. She's been on there, I think maybe twice or some shit, maybe more than that.
What is that called?
A Sybian. Do you remember do you ever see the OnlyFans dad skit?
Yeah.
It's a Sybian he's writing too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she did that, and then she's done videos. She had to stop for a while because it turns out in like the 2010s, she became the most imitated or impersonated. I forget the term they used. I think it's just impersonated woman for scammers on the internet. So it was like there was like a sector of dudes in Africa that were specifically scamming. They were like, forget the term they used, but it's like just Janessas. Basically,
they did like the Instagram scam where they're like, "Hey, it's Tupac. I need $10,000 to get off the island."
I'm not doing it justice. Let me just read you the article. Brazil, the most. There's a whole actually podcast series dedicated to finding out who she is and where she is.
Interesting.
It's concluded now. But,
I'd imagine so.
Let me read this. So the headline is "Thieves hijacked my face, duped thousands of men, and destroyed my career." Janessa Brazil is the most impersonated woman in the world with more than 100,000 fake social media accounts using her photographs. Janessa Brazil has been described as a modern-day Helen of Troy. Engaging and attractive, she's the most impersonated woman in the world. You've probably never heard of her, for which you should be profoundly grateful. Her identity has been hijacked by hundreds, if not thousands, of internet scammers, and the search for the real Janessa Brazil is now an engrossing podcast. I don't know, there's like 20 articles, and they're all the same words. It's just all promoting the podcast. So it's clearly like this girl wrote it and promoted her own podcast with different names. But it still tells a story nonetheless. So Janessa, Called Love, it's talking about the podcast. I'll just say it. Yeah. Called Love, Janessa. Called Love, Janessa. It opens with the story of how I was nearly defrauded or catfished by a complete stranger using Janessa's photographs. I soon discovered I was not alone. My involvement began on New Year's Eve 2018 when I received a message on Twitter from a woman I didn't know. She said her name was Tammy Anderson and she was sending greetings from my world to yours. I replied in kind. This, by the way, this gets hilarious. She said her name was Tammy Anderson and she was sending greetings from my world to yours. I replied in kind, sending her and her family New Year's greetings, and asked, where exactly is your world? Little did I know, I had headed down a rabbit hole leading to one of the world's largest online scams. At the time, I had never heard of the expressions romance scam or catfishing. When fraudsters used a fake ID to defraud someone they've never met. They've never met, and I had certainly never heard of the name Janessa Brazil. Later, Tammy replied to my message. She told me she was originally from Brazil and now lived with her 2 children in the U.S. state of Michigan, working for a company promoting bullshit, blah, blah, blah.
There's no Brazilians in Michigan.
There's no Brazil. First of all, yeah.
Yeah.
First, this guy's an
That's the
idiot.
first red flag.
It's, by the way, this is a UK article, so if this is some real just Brit somewhere, he just got fooled, and now
The
he's
guy that did this podcast
No, I think it's a girl that did this podcast, but a guy wrote an article about
about the podcast.
basically all the info from the podcast within an article.
Oh.
And so, but I think the guy found the podcast because he had already been.
Tammy Anderson was Janessa Brazil.
So, dude, this guy is such a nitwit. He gets fooled. I want to digress and read more of it, but he gets fooled by the Janessa Brazil by like 6 different Janessa Brazils, and he's always just like, blast it, she did it again. And the whole article is like, oh, I cannot believe she got me. I am not into paying women, but I did want to send her money, but he's
Is this James?
The whole article is basically him justifying getting catfished and being like, I'm not an idiot. I'm actually very precautious, but she did it again, blasted.
She's just so gorgeous.
She's just so elusive and gorgeous.
I thought, finally, this is the real one.
Anyways, the ice had been broken, and over the next few days, she told me her life story and how she'd been a successful model and a presenter on a local TV station in Rio, how she'd been in a relationship with her producer who turned out to be an alcoholic and a drug addict, and how she quit her job and moved to the U.S. to get away from him. Her profile picture showed an attractive, well-presented young woman. I had no reason to believe she wasn't who she said she was. The conversation continued for a few more days until she had told me her employer hadn't paid her salary. She was short of money and asked me to send her $300. As soon as she asked, I hate fucking news articles with ads. As soon as she asked me for money, by the way, here's a picture of the girl we're dealing with, just so you know.
That's Janessa Brazil?
That's Janessa Brazil.
Wait, hold on, let me see again.
I know you want to see it again. I bet you do.
No, I don't recognize her.
As soon as she asked for money, alarm bells rang. Did it, brother?
Wait, this isn't Dee Dietrich that's texted me the other day?
I could have sworn that was Dee Dietrich. As soon as she asked for money, alarm bells rang. I then did a bit of detective work using Google's reverse image search. Oh, what a detective. And discovered that Tammy was using stolen photographs of a model called Janessa Brazil.
Wow.
Oh, gosh, Janessa, how could you? And I had been catfished. I immediately told Tammy I was reporting her for Twitter for using fake ID, and the account was shut down. Curious to find out more, I discovered that Janessa Brazil had been described as the most impersonated woman on the internet, with more than 100,000 fake social media accounts using her photographs, many actually purporting to be her. The real Janessa was registered with a Florida model. This is where it gets good. The real Janessa was registered with a Florida modeling agency, and I wrote to alert her to the fraudster using her photographs. Within hours, I had received a reply. She thanked me for the tip-off and revealed how the multiple scams had destroyed her career. Apparently, a court in Florida had placed orders banning her from posting anything on the internet after a man she had never met claimed he had sent her over $2 million. She also told me Janessa was just the name she modeled under. She also made adult films, she said. She gave me her real name, told me she lived near Tampa, and sent me a copy of her U.S. passport to prove who she was claimed to be. Meanwhile, I found dozens of social media accounts claiming to be Janessa Brazil on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. There were thousands of photographs showing Janessa driving in a bikini in her house with friends, eating, ... all the usual things you might expect of a modern young woman, plus quite a few you may not. Fucking hornster, dude.
Yeah.
Basically, this guy was just horny as shit, but wanted that real.
I thought it was about to. You were about to say, I informed the Florida model agency, and she got in touch with me saying that it's destroyed her life, and she needs me to send her $300.
She needs me to send her $300 stat. Okay. In most of them, she looked demure,
Yeah.
and respectable. The girl next door. I realized this is why her pictures were so valuable to the scammers. She was a blank sheet onto which their victims can write anything their imaginations wish. You're just horny, dude. She's hot.
Yeah.
The scam. What are you talking about?
She also just looks like a porn star.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like the girl next door or
No,
whatever.
she doesn't look like the girl next door. She has massive fake tits. The scams appeared to be being orchestrated from West Africa, where fraud has been a lucrative industry. At random, I chose 6 Janessas and messaged them with I chose 6 Janessas. That's like when you said I'd take a 5. Take 6 of these long Janessas. These long Janessas, not long Janessas. and messaged them with a view to gathering material for a newspaper article. What I got back was the inspiration for a podcast called Love Janessa. Oh, so it is?
It's his podcast.
It's his podcast. Hosted by BBC reporter Hannah Ajala. No, I think he just found the podcast then. I think he just realized he was late to the party.
Oh.
Hosted by BBC reporter Hannah Ajala.
Someone needs to be talking about
It
this.
is the search for the real Janessa. Who is this woman, and what does she think of the way lives are ruined and bank accounts drained in her name? Hannah traveled to Ghana to interview Sakawa Boys, the name by which Ghanaian scammers are known because they use voodoo to seduce their victims. It's getting real now.
Whoa.
She also found Roberto, an Italian eco-farmer who had spent 4 years in an online relationship with another Janessa, despite never having met or spoken to her. In total, Roberto had sent his virtual love more than $250,000 in the belief they would be spending the rest of their lives together. At the time I first came across her, Janessa Brazil was missing, presumed retired. Some people speculated online that she was now a respectable housewife with a family, living with... That's what I thought. I might have said that last episode. I was like, I think, yeah. That's why I was
She's a housewife?
Yeah, maybe she just got married. There's a lot of porn stars that just fell off the face of the earth because they got married.
Had kids.
Yeah. With her aunt in Accra, some people speculated online that she was now a respectable housewife with a family living with her aunt in Accra, Ghana, or that she'd made so much money that she'd been able to retire. And then it shows this picture. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good enough look. It shows the passport that guy said that they showed her. God, this website sucks. Jesus Christ.
Is the passport lady also a scammer?
Maybe if I can ever get this to pull up, I can show you. Yes, I want to continue reading, you fucking nitwit article. I hate that shit, dude. All right. Yeah, you can just zoom in. That's the passport they sent that guy. He got that passport and continued to talk to this girl. Just so you know. This article has gone on since...
You can see the edges.
He read the whole podcast. He listened to the whole podcast. He wanted to find out more. He thought this was really the girl. Obviously, I'll post a picture of it. Clearly the fakest fucking picture of a passport I've ever seen.
You can see the edges of the Photoshop.
Yeah, there's no fingers in it. Like you can't. It's the worst fucking picture ever. You can see the edges. Two men had an angry exchange online because they both claimed to have married her in internet-based ceremonies.
Dude.
Implausible as it sounds, what?
Fucking horny dudes,
Fucking
man.
hornballs, just freak bulls,
They
dude.
cannot contain themselves.
Just full-on freak bulls.
Dude,
just
never send anybody money.
Oh my God, you have to be a complete freak bull to be. I mean, to be fair, they were probably like 50-year-old dudes.
Dude, Roberto
Roberto
sending her
was probably a
$250K.
50-year-old Italian farmer.
Eco farmer?
He's probably sitting there.
This
eating.
guy doesn't have $250K to just spend willy nilly.
I don't know how he got it.
No, he's sending her all his money.
Yeah, everything. He couldn't even pay for his shack outside of his farm.
Yeah.
Implausible as it sounds, both men were convinced.
Had to sell all of his goats.
all of his goats, right after he fucked them. Both men were convinced the slim Brazilian, because he's horny.
Yeah.
He's gonna fuck the goats.
Of course.
Obviously, he's gonna fuck the goats.
He's fucking his computer, I guess.
He's fucking everything. He's gonna fuck the goat. He's gonna fuck the cow, the pig, the Ghanaian dude at his computer in 2009. All right. Implausible as it sounds, both men were convinced the slim Brazilian with long dark hair and artificially enhanced breasts. What, bro? Why are you so horny? You got to put that in the fucking...
And massive titties.
Yeah, and she had massive tits, by the way, in case I hadn't mentioned. He hadn't mentioned that. He knew he had to mention it somewhere. He had to throw it in right there in that paragraph.
The slim Brazilian with the massive mommy milkers.
They thought these idiots both thought they married the beautiful Brazilian with huge knockies. With long dark hair and artificially enhanced breasts, was about to start a new life with them. Ah, fuck.
You gotta be shitting me.
It's crazy. We gotta get a new battery.
Yeah.
Like we gotta do it like this week. Fuck. Anyways, they just couldn't agree which one of them was gonna end up with her. I found all this amusing because I knew that the real Janessa was talking to me and not involved in any way. We had agreed to cooperate on the report about her life and on the internet that might even about her life and on the internet that might even become a book one day. Except she wasn't Janessa, and we hadn't agreed. Oh, he switched her up. I had been catfished a second time. My Janessa then started asking for money to pay the bill for the hotel in Toronto where she had fled to escape the Fuhrer in the U.S.
Huh?
The Fuhrer?
Fervor?
F-U-R-O-R-E? I feel stupid. I don't know some of these words after reading this
What?
article twice. F-U-R-O-R-E. You see that? I don't know. Fuhrer. She escaped the Fuhrer.
Fuhrer.
She escaped the Fuhrer.
Not Hitler.
She sent me copies of emails from her bank stating the accounts had been frozen. She said she owed the hotel $5,000.
So I was right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, dude. Of course.
I was like, that's not the real Janessa.
Well, I'm gonna get to the bottom line as soon as we're almost done with this article.
Okay. I have to pee.
She sent me copies. Okay, we can take a break after I finish this.
Yeah.
She sent me copies. Do you want to take a break right now?
No. We'll finish this.
She sent me copies of emails from her bank stating that her accounts had been frozen. She said she owed $5,000 for the hotel. Although I knew the chances of this being a genuine sob story were vanishingly small, there was still doubt in my mind.
Bro,
So he still believed
he
it.
sent it to her?
He still believed it. That's what I'm thinking
He
as I read
sent
this.
it to her?
I advised her to negotiate with the hotel manager. She told me he had tried to sleep with her and had confiscated her passport. I felt awful. Despite my certainty, none of it was true.
Like, Janessa, you won't believe. This is the story that people are using to scam people with money. I can't believe this is actually happening.
She's like, I know, I'm ruined.
Here's
By the way.
$10,000.
Yeah. Here's my whole bank account. I also felt there was a great story here and did not pull the plug. So he said, despite my certainty none of it was true, I also felt there was a great story and did not pull the plug. I offered to write a newspaper story saying U.S. citizen was being held captive in a prestigious downtown hotel. That idea went down like a ton of bricks. Next, I advised her to go to the U.S. consulate and tell them her passport had been unlawfully removed, but she didn't want to end up on the evening news. Finally, I offered to pay her airfare back to Florida, but only once a friend of mine who lives in Toronto had met to confirm it was her. To say she went ballistic is an understatement. It's not her, dude. It's fucking.
I don't know why Janessa went crazy.
It's the fucking dude. I was trying to think of a stereotypical Ghanaian name, but I really don't know any. Anyways, finally I had reached the end.
Jawandis?
I don't know. I don't think that is Ghanaian, but sure. Finally, I had reached the end of the road. She realized I was never going to give her the money and went quiet. I assumed she had gone off to find a new, more pliable victim. One of the contributors to the podcast compares blah, 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 most ghetto. Now he starts talking about some bullshit. Stupid. Romance scams. Bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I think he just starts talking about bullshit and tries to warn old people not to give their money to obviously people who are catfishing them and scammers. But I've looked into it more. And yeah, she's posted on Pornhub like within the last 2 years or year.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's active on Pornhub and she's trying to make a comeback, I think, right now.
You just look on Pornhub, you're like, I found her.
Yeah, straight up. I read this whole article. I was like, oh my God, wherever could she be? And she was on Pornhub like within the last like 6 months.
Cobby.
Huh. Oh yeah, Cobby. Yeah. So it's just Cobby at a computer right now. Cobby Lamb at a computer, just fooling him.
Foger.
But yeah, I guess that was a long-winded
Fanuku.
thing to just say that she really did get. Here's the thing. Here's what's up to anyone's determination. As I said earlier, I really don't know if that's the right word to use, but oh well. She's still active, so she really could be.
Do we know if this scam is still going on?
I'm sure people are still using her to scam. She really could be scamming people. She really could have scammed people. It's a lot of shit. She could have scammed people, or
what if that was the real Janessa?
or she could have not. Yeah, or she could have scammed people, or she could have not. But even with people scamming people under her, she has the advantage to scam others, being her.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What if she had figured this out and the guy was like, to say the least, Janessa went ballistic, and it's her being like, What the fuck? Why do I need to meet up with somebody?
Actually, I realized I always thought she was a beautiful Brazilian Portuguese speaker. She fucking speaks perfect English. She moved to
I'm sure.
She moved to fucking Tampa when she was like 5
Yeah.
or some shit, young. So yeah, she speaks perfect English. She talks like a white girl.
I'm sure.
So yeah, that was a big turnoff.
Yeah.
But
that she wasn't speaking Ushi Gushi.
yeah, that wasn't. She went, I wanted to hear her talk like that's Portuguese right there. That's good Portuguese. I just said my pussy's wet in Portuguese.
Okay.
But
well, how do you say my dick is leaking? Because it is.
I don't know, but I was gonna say to finish it off, or she could really have been fucked over, and she can't even work with any companies because everybody thinks she scammed people out of millions of dollars.
Could be that too.
Because
that's probably more likely.
I wouldn't mind some more Janessa content.
I know you would.
Out there in the yeah. All right, go.
Have you listened to that podcast?
No.
You should. No.
I read the whole article. It's fine.
That's not the whole thing.
Go pee. Let's do pitches when we get back. I'll talk about one thing I want to talk about because I think that you won't hear about the other one unless you already have. Hopefully you haven't. But one thing, did you see what Vinny said about those dudes getting charged?
No, I saw his response, but I didn't read it.
It's pretty fucking bossed up, dude. I usually don't. I usually like think it's kind of corny when players get involved with like. I don't know. I don't want it to be. I hate it when people get involved in anything other than the game. But the way he sounded off him was pretty dope. He was like, I'm not a victim of racism. I'm a tormentor of racists." I was like, yeah,
that's pretty sick.
He fucking rules.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick. Because everyone's like, yeah, you got these guys and put these guys in prison because they were racist. But like Spain's super racist, so it's like, oh well.
I think at this point that has to happen.
He says some shit. He's like, hopefully, he's like, this is not a win for me. This is a win for all black people, and he's like, and maybe, and hopefully it like results. He said it cooler, but he was like, hopefully it results in all races staying inside their shell or some shit like that, just like keeping quiet and hiding in the shadows. Which I thought that was pretty fucking badass. He fucking sounded off on him. That was pretty sick. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I'll just knock them out both real quick. You hear about fucking that tribe in Brazil that Elon Musk hooked up?
Hooked?
Hooked.
Oh no.
He hooked them up. Dude, they were like, Elon Musk was like, we're gonna try something actually like brand new. It's actually pretty interesting. We're gonna give Starlink. You know Starlink? You know Starlink?
You're asking me?
You know Starlink?
Yeah.
Starlink, our internet, our satellite powered internet connection. We're gonna give that to an indigenous tribe in Brazil, and they all got addicted to porn immediately.
Yeah,
all of them got addicted to porn immediately, dude. So fire.
Like what happens to every person the first time they use it.
Straight up, they got addicted to porn and social media. They were like, yeah, we're gonna give this indigenous tribe internet connectivity. It's gonna help them advance. And
they'll figure so much out.
Yeah, they're gonna figure so much out. All they figured out was a quick way to just crush their horniness.
Dude, I can remember
30 years of pent up horniness. Some of these guys got.
First like instance on like TV. I mean, obviously it came out before I'd ever like watched it. But like on like Friends, like season like 3, and like Chandler had just bought like a laptop or something like that. And it was the first time on like TV that like internet was like a big thing. It was like 1997, 98.
Yeah.
First thing that he was like talking about was like looking at porn.
Look at the ladies.
Yeah.
How you doing?
He was like
Chandler.
That's Joey. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about Chandler though.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's the best. No, and actually, I want to take back what I said because I said they're like 30 years old. It's actually pretty crazy. The adults were better. The adults like used it to actually advance.
Sure.
And the kids all got addicted to porn and social media.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, there's a rising concern amongst the elders that the next generation's like, yeah, you gave porn to these kids.
Yeah. Welcome to the third.
Take away the porn.
The first world.
Yeah, ridiculous. I'm addicted to porn and I'm not even indigenous. I'm not even an indigenous tribe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Straight up.
Welcome to the first world.
Exactly. Yeah, I know you're just yeah, it's hot out here too.
Yeah.
I know it's hot out here tooing you. But yeah. It's like, of course. I thought that was pretty great. I thought that was pretty funny article.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I get a lot of flack. Before we get into pitches, I got a lot of flack on my story I posted, but I thought it was pretty funny. I stand by it.
What'd you post?
Robbie and I were playing NBA Blacktop
Oh,
on 2K, and we were doing 2v2, and I chose Karl
Josh
Malone,
Giddey and-
Karl Malone and Josh Giddey. I won too. I crushed him, dude. Pedo gang. That's not my gang. They're a gang.
yeah.
I'm not part of the gang. See, I almost didn't post that because I was like, I don't want it to be misled. I don't want to be part of the gang. But it's their gang. I'm not in the gang.
Yeah.
Because that's that gang shit. Anyways. By the way, if you made it this far and you're thinking...
Them young boys coming.
No, that's not what it was. If you made it this far and you're thinking... I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
This has been a bit of a rough episode for me, actually. I've been... not a bit. I shouldn't have taken 2 shots. We take 2 or 3 shots?
2.
Yeah,
I have a bit of a hangnail on my pinky toe.
Gross, dude. All right, pitches.
Do you see how enlarged my pinky toe is?
Yeah, it's big fat boy.
Yeah.
It's a big fat boy. Big fat pinky toe. All right, hit me with your pitch.
All right. Mine, you need a little context for it. You remember the little libraries?
Little libraries?
Those like boxes that would be on like random streets.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
So in this thriller, or this is a thriller, when Angel Miller begins taking some books from her neighborhood's little library, she discovers there are short stories that keep appearing in it that document and predict events in her life. After diving deep into the stories, she sets out on a mission to discover who is leaving these stories and how they know all about her and what's to happen to her. That's read me like a book.
It's pretty cool. What genre is the movie?
Thriller.
Horror. Oh,
Horror.
yeah, you said thriller, horror.
Yeah.
What's so horrific about it?
Like
Is she a slut?
no, but like these like short stories, like these like 40-page little novellas tell about like days of her life.
That have already happened or in the future?
It begins with like stuff that's happened and then it like will start to progress of like this will happen and then it does happen.
And it's like her dying?
It's like shit that happens. Like obviously, I mean, she can't die within the first like 20 minutes.
Sure.
But like people get in like to accidents or like people get like fired
Witnesses a
or
murder?
yeah, something like that.
That'd be cool.
Some like horrific events will happen.
What's the end game?
She tries to figure out who this is that are leaving these books and like how they know all this.
It's like Stranger Than Fiction, kind of, but it'd be a
Not really.
horrific turn on Stranger
Yeah,
Than Fiction.
I guess slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah.
It's cool. I've always liked Stranger Than Fiction. It's a cool idea.
I was like trying to think of like I had that idea where it's like people discover these books that just document their life and like predict like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which I guess is slightly Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
But it hasn't really been done. I mean, that'd be a scary concept. Stranger Than Fiction is
It is.
comedy.
That's scary, but it's still scary. There's still like an element of like uneasiness in Stranger Than Fiction, and it's a comedy. It's supposed to be funny. I think it's just a scary concept. Anyone knowing how your fate.
It should have just done straight as a thriller horror.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But like a teenager who like doesn't have a lot of control in their life to begin with.
Yeah, that'd be so spooky to experience. Yeah, good idea. It's a very good idea. Let me get into mine because we're probably running short on time and the camera's gone off like 20 minutes ago, so we're gonna have to put up some fucking picture up to do that. But mine's a little bit long-winded, but it's okay. Devin is visiting his local dispensary for a routine pickup when he's compelled by an employee to try their new brand. Devin goes home, smokes the new strain, and takes a nap. He wakes up feeling refreshed, like he's had a full night of sleep, but is surprised to see the clock has only gone by 15 minutes. Devin brushes this off and then opens the cold beer that he had left on the counter when he got home. With time before bed, he takes his dog out for a quick walk when he finally realizes that the world around him is moving in slow motion. After some initial panic, Devin devises a plan to use his magic weed to fix all his problems. This is called Stuck. So it's basically just click with weed.
Yeah. The dog's not moving in slow motion?
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Maybe the dog got a little high.
Maybe the dog got high.
Yeah.
Bingo. Now we're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog got high because he was in the room with him.
Um,
Or maybe he just blows the smoke in the dog's face. Good old
bit of
animal
an
abuse.
elevator pitch.
Yeah, that was an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
It was a little bit longer than escalator. Yeah, I had a
But it's good. I like it's like I like the creepy shop owner. You know what I mean? Like Gremlins.
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah, it's
concept.
a weird guy. He's like, you should try it out.
Yeah. I don't think that's been done with like Dispensary.
Yeah, and he'd be like the Christopher Walken of Click, where like you go back and
And it's gone.
Yeah.
The shop never existed.
yeah. Well, the shop may have existed, but it's just like
But like nobody by that description has ever worked.
like
here.
maybe a wall is covering
Yeah.
the section that he took him to or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, I'd say that.
So does he like let's say he bought like an eighth. He only has that amount to like fix things. Because he can't get any more.
Sure,
if
yeah.
he goes back.
Yeah, I thought about that too. It would have to be like a certain amount. Like it's like he has
Like
to
so, like after
preserve
the
it.
first experience, he like goes
Because he has to
back.
be able to run out quick. He can only have like a little bit.
Exactly. Like if he goes back and the guy's gone, he
That would
can't
be
find the weed, and then he's like, okay, I only have these 3 grams left.
That would be.
I got to
interesting.
make it last.
That would be interesting. Like he goes back the next day, and
Yeah.
yeah. Or you could go where he's like, "Oh, I'm running low. I got to go back and get some more." And then he goes back later on in the movie, and they're like, "We don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And he's like,
Right.
"All right, well now I have to solve the rest of my problems with all I got left because I used
Right.
the
Yeah.
rest,
Yeah.
liberally."
Yeah.
So
maybe bought like a quad.
yeah, we can go with just an 8er, just a little bag.
He's just smoking bowls.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he could smoke.
We can't roll joints.
Maybe he could
as
smoke
an-
joints and fucking that makes things like almost frozen. Like
Yeah.
maybe the higher he gets, the more.
Right,
I was
right.
thinking like things start to speed up as he
Yeah.
gets on high. You know what I mean?
He just hits like a 1E and is like able to like make it into work on time.
Yeah, or like maybe he like, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Maybe he uses like that's a quick thing. I'm thinking like he does it to like get back with his
Or it's like
girlfriend.
his dog's like running into traffic. He's like,
Yeah.
takes a
Chill
quick
out.
rip.
Oh my god! Did I ever tell you about the time Pierre ran into traffic when I first got him?
No.
Oh my god!
In
it was
downtown?
horrific. Yeah. By the way, yeah, that's stuck.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good
that movie.
concept.
Thanks. Dude, yeah, I was outside. Remember my old entrance? We'll end on this really positive note. Remember my old entrance to like the Stonegate Apartments? There was like that little walkway. It was like not a walkway, but it's like a little entrance, like a little.
The Illinois Street.
Yeah.
Apartments.
There's the
On
glass.
Illinois Street or
Yeah, on Illinois Street. Yeah. So I was sitting with him waiting for to get. Oh yeah.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah, I was sitting there waiting for the.
He ran
my
under the
ex-girlfriend
car?
to go home. Yeah, and he ran out into the street, and then it was 5 p.m. traffic.
Yeah.
People were, and I ran out into the street. Had to stop traffic, and then he went under like the far back right tire of a car, which is facing towards traffic. And then I'm trying to reach for him. I'm in the street on the floor trying to reach for him behind, and then he runs back to the door, and I fucking. He might have caught a little baby whooping, but
I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that was horrible. And then I was like, all right, well, you just can't go outside anymore. You are a liability.
No.
But yeah, he was so chill, bro. He was sitting in my lap, just chilling,
And then he darted.
just darted, dude. Like
Yeah.
he was chilling on my lap for like 5 minutes, then just darted, bro. It was horrific.
You see a mouse or something?
I don't know. I think he
Ooh.
just tweaked out. I mean, it was a busy time, but folks, that has been episode 34 of the Jack Loons. I am sorry if I was. I'm sorry to you too. I'm sorry if I was fully idiotic during this episode.
No, I think it was a good one.
But we'll have to wait till next week to make up for it. I signed off last
We
time.
need to figure out more about Janessa though.
Oh, I think I don't. I think that's an
No,
ongoing,
there's more
I think
to
that's
that.
an ongoing
No,
investigation.
There's more
dude.
to that story.
I think that's ongoing. Trust me.
What if this turns into Janessa?
Trust me. I looked into. This is not Jagessa.
Yeah.
Jack Lunessa. Yeah, this is not going to be the Janessa Brazil search for podcast, but I'll definitely stay updated about it. I'm definitely going to find out because now I'm interested. Now I want to know.
Maybe
more.
we can find her and then Madeline McCann.
I heard from the real Janessa that she's trying to make a comeback. So let's see. I'm pretty sure it
Trying to
was her
make a
too.
comeback or trying to get more cum on her back?
Both, potentially both. I actually think that she's been on the Howard Stern interview. She said she was in a long-term. She was married.
When was this interview?
And it was an older man. I don't know. It's probably like,
Maybe she's dead then.
No, I think she's still alive because she just posted on Pornhub like 6 months ago, like within the year.
63 months ago.
63 months ago. No, like 6. I think it was like maybe 6 to 8 months ago. She posted within the year. So
6
she
to
only
8 months
she
is
only
enough
does
time to
lesbian
die.
stuff, which is how usually girls who are in relationships with like another man or like are married, they do lesbian shit only if they do anything other than just
Not
with
Lena the
yourself.
plug.
Well, yeah, that's different. Speaking of that, Adam 22 is on MSSP. They just uploaded. I saw when we started this episode, so I'm definitely gonna.
You know he did gay porn?
Yeah. Oh, I think that I don't know if he actually did.
He did.
Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, I think that was a April Fool's thing. I mean, I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised if he
know.
did it, but I think that was an April Fool's thing.
An April Fool's post where he's like, "Thank you for letting me blow your back out"
Yeah.
to a guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's cool, but I'm saying I think it was April Fool. I don't like Adam 22 personally. I think he's a goofball.
He's a cuck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate him because he's a cuck. I know a lot of cucks.
I don't hate him because he's a cuck. I'm just saying he's a cuck.
He is a cuck, yeah. All right. Sign off. We're done here.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Not to cuck you with no visuals for the last 20 minutes, but thank you so much for joining us. And baby,